Okay, in this screencast, what we'll do is try to get the notebooks from GitHub and view them locally using an Anaconda installation, Anaconda Jupyter installation. So for that, let me share my entire screen. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and downloaded Anaconda. So what I'm going to do now is actually install it. And in the meantime, also get the notebooks, the Jupyter notebooks from GitHub. Okay, so let's install it. It's yes, I agree. Just me is fine. And add Anaconda to my path. Instead, open Anaconda with Windows Start menu and select Anaconda. This add to path option makes it get found before previously installed problems. Okay, let's not worry about this, but yeah, install. In the meantime, let's go to where the notebooks are. Okay, so there are several ways to download this. One of the ways, so let me do the easy way first. So let's download the zip. And okay, let's save. I think it'll also get downloaded to the downloads folder. I think here we can just unzip this. Okay, in the meantime, let's see what's the situation with Anaconda. Okay, it's also getting installed. So you can see some of the things that you might recognize. Scikit-learn is getting installed, stats model. So many different packages are getting installed. Okay, so we unzipped MLOps notebooks, and you can see, let's say, chapter 1 has some IPython notebooks. Okay, and we'll just open this locally using Jupyter. In the meantime, I would also suggest, just to get your AWS set up. So this is a little bit of tangent. Just to get your AWS machine accessible from Windows, one of the simplest options is to just install Cygwin. Cygwin is this is a page, and you can just install, double click and install. What it'll do is basically give you a terminal. Okay, so I actually just installed it. Maybe I can, yeah, so let me actually download it again and install it. Okay, let it run. And some permissions aspect. So this is how you'd see the installation screen. So if you click next and then install from the internet, that's fine. Cygwin is fine, location, and then some temporary location, that's fine. Use system proxy, that's fine too. And then pick something. Here I just picked, it seems like I picked Virginia Tech as location. Okay, so what it does is first get the list of things that you could install. What we really care about, just to connect to the remote machine, the AWS machine or the DigitalOcean machine, you just need two things. One is SSH. So search for SSH. Yeah. So if you search for SSH, you should be able to see OpenSSH. This one, if it's not installed, you can install it. Here I've already installed it, so that's why it's not there. So it's not showing an option to install. For example, you can install the lower versions. I think the other versions. But anyway, so you just need that. The second thing you need to check is, do I have Git? And this will be useful for not just connecting to the remote AWS machine. It's useful for us to keep updated with the notebooks that we're seeing. So right now, I did a crude way of downloading notebooks. I just clicked download here, right? I just clicked code download zip. Instead of that, we'll see a different way to download. Okay? So the second thing you want to have is Git. I searched for Git, and I said keep. Keep as in, so you may not see keep, you may see install, and then you pick one of the versions to install. It doesn't matter which version for us. So these two, and then click next. And that's it. Since I have already installed Cygwin before, it's exactly the same flow. And if you want to install more packages, you just rerun the setup and add extra stuff. Okay, and then next, since there's nothing to do, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, and if you want to create an icon and add a start menu, that's fine too. And finish. Okay. So now what I'll do is also again, now I'll go to code and copy. Okay, let me show the second version in a couple of minutes. First, let's work with the things that we already have, which means we already have this downloaded, in the download folder. We got this MLOps notebooks master.zip when we downloaded it from the GitHub, from here when we click code and then zip, and we have unzipped it and we have these things, right? So now we'll use Anaconda to open it. So it's saying something. Okay. Anaconda individual edition tutorial. I don't need it. Get starting with Anaconda. No, we don't need it. Finish. Okay. Now let's see what's the start menu. Anaconda is a new one. So click on it. It says Anaconda Navigator, PowerShell prompt, Jupyter notebook. Let's see. Let's go to Anaconda Navigator. Okay, it's getting initialized. So don't worry about, by the way, PowerShell and all that. Cygwin is a very simple option. If you want to work with PowerShell, there are certainly ways, and you can get far with PowerShell as well. But let's do it this way. In a moment, we will see how Cygwin is going to help doing the same thing. So let's go to Anaconda Navigator, and we just need a Jupyter notebook server running. So let's do launch for this guy. Okay, it's taking some time. As you can see the progress bar towards the bottom right side, and it'll say, hey, which browser do you want? Let's pick Firefox. It's just, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's click OK. Okay, so we got this interface. Now here, I think it just opened in the regular, in my home folder. So I can now just go to downloads or wherever your place is. Mine is in downloads, ML Notebooks Master. I think that it's 2 times the folder is there. And then click on, let's say, chapter 1, and let's say click class caps. Okay. So this will open the notebook, and now you have the notebook. Okay. The only difference, so the only issue with this approach is that you can run these and say, hey, GeoPy is not present, and you can install GeoPy and all that. That's good. So you're able to access the notebooks. The next challenge is just to access the notebooks locally. So as you can see, it's localhost 8888. The next challenge is to, of course, get missing packages, run these notebooks and or run the cells, create new notebooks and all that. So, like you can do file new notebook, Python 3 and all that. Okay, so that's great. The second way to get to the same notebook is to use Cygwin. So let me type Cygwin terminal. So let's click enter. So it will give you some terminal. So the cool thing is you can get the basic commands that you're seeing in elsewhere. Okay, so for example, I do cd. Let's first go to C drive. Okay, we went to C drive and then go to users, Asia, downloads, and this is where we have our previous downloads, okay? The MLOps notebook master that we downloaded, and this is the folder. So let's make a new folder. You can actually make it directly from the GUI, but let me call the simple command called mkdir, make directory, and say get approach, okay? And then go into the directory, that's cd, and then I can do git clone of what we were seeing here. Okay, so let's copy this and paste it here. Let's press enter. Okay. So what did we get? Just to see what did we get, let's go back to downloads. We have that git approach extra folder. We get into there. There's MLOps notebooks. There's an extra master, as you can see. And if you click on that, it's exactly the same thing. But there's an extra folder called .git. Okay. And so what that helps is that now you can open again the same thing. So for example, I can go back to the Jupyter interface here. Let's go back to downloads. I can go to Git approach, MLOps notebooks, again, chapter 1 or chapter 2, click something, and you'll see the notebook. Okay. But the good thing about the second approach is that you don't have to re-download things. Okay. So you can just do git pull as the command, so not in here, but inside the MLOps notebooks folder. Okay, so that's where the ls command will work, and that's where you'll see. I mean, you'll see, of course, the same files as you'd see in the repository. Like these are the files, right? You'll not see the .git ignore, so you can see that you're not seeing the .git ignore here. So, but if you do ls minus la, you will be able to see, hey, there's a .git ignore, and there's also the special directory .git. Okay, that's what helps us keep this up to date, this whole folder up to date. Let's say I update something here today, then you can just get the latest version by saying git pull, and that's it. So here it's saying that, hey, everything is up to date. There's some extra hints about things that we can or we cannot set, but already up to date. Okay, so next time I make a change, and if you want to update, the first way would require you to re-download, like you go to code and then download zip. Second way, you can just do git pull. Okay, git pull is the command, and we install git to Cygwin. Okay, that's the second way. Now coming back to this tangent of what else is the use for the Cygwin, is this only for git pulling and pushing? I could have done it in many other ways. So the second thing is that, since recall that we also installed SSH, so we can do SSH. For example, in the class, I have a remote machine running, which has for which there was a PEM file that I got. So I think I can see that here in the downloads directory. Oh, it's not in downloads directory. I think it's in the desktop that I had a file called PEM file. Okay, so remember, if you go to AWS and try to rent an instance, at the towards the end, it'll say, hey, do you want to create a new key pair? And it'll let you download a PEM file. And this file is supposed to be secret. You should not share it with anybody. This is the key to the machine, basically. And once you have the CMPM file, you can do SSH -i, this PM file, Amazon. I just gave some name from last time. And then the address, I think it's Ubuntu at, I have it somewhere here, Ubuntu at this IP address. And the IP address, you can get it from the Amazon's web interface. Right. So if I do this, and I've not done anything on this machine, no SSH key pair, the things that we saw, 2 weeks ago, no extra stuff. With Amazon, it's a little bit easier. You have this PEM file, you just do SSH -i, and then press enter, and you've logged in. So this is actually the remote machine. So you can see the base and all that because we had installed. So you can do conda env list to see the environment list we had, and recall that one of them was 3.9 and it was not compatible with PyTorch or something, and so we had to downgrade to 3.8. Anyway, so we have this machine now. As I also showed earlier, so if I do screen -r, you can see that there's already a Jupyter instance running there. Okay, so there's a Jupyter instance running there. So and to get out of screen -r, so the screen is a session in the session. Control A D would get out of the session. Okay, so the screen instance already running there. Sorry, there's a Jupyter instance already running there. If I do ls, you can see that I also did the same thing. So this MLOps notebooks is exactly the same thing. So see, if I do cd and then git pull, you can see that it says, hey, already up to date. So this is exactly, so this was not by GUI based download, right? So we actually did git clone this hash, whatever is the link that you can get from here. Okay, now that's great. So we have the notebook. So we have our notebooks there. Now all we need to do is how do I access the notebooks on the remote machine? Okay, and once you get access to the notebooks as well as the remote access to the remote machine like this, everything else on the remote machine, all commands will run. There's no dependency on Windows now, right? So I'm already on this Ubuntu at something location. So now how do I get to that? How to get the Jupyter interface? That is again easy. I think rather than me remembering what the command is, let's look at intro setting up Python. Okay, here it says, hey, don't use this tunneling idea. So let's just copy this. So we just have to paste it on our local. So this is the Cygwin interface. Okay, if I close it and open it, this is what you would get. Here, I'll just paste this and then fill in the, oh, that was not correct. Okay, I did not copy the one over there. Copy, paste, and then again, Ubuntu at copy and paste. Okay, so this command, I think you should just put it somewhere, maybe on your to-do list, on the notepad or something. So you press enter. It says permission denied, and that's right, because actually we should also pass that -i Amazon key first, and then do this, and then press enter. It should not say any errors, and therefore we have connected. Now what we can do is, as you can see here, localhost 888 is already running Jupyter Notebook. So we can do localhost 8889 to connect to the remote machine. Okay, so here I think I gave a password ID as 594 as a password. Let's save or not. Okay, let's save it. So you can see this is actually the remote machine. This is the Amazon web instance, or the remote virtual machine that we got. And it's still running. We should actually probably shut down. And once you are here, you can get terminals and everything. And now you're kind of not worried about Mac OS versus Windows versus Linux, what to do. But we all have the same machine. Okay. Okay. At this point, I'll stop, and thank you for listening.